Hello everyone, this is FMX here, a little bit early today, because we have a very special event that I'm going to be playing on, and it's the Nimzo Indian Defense Super Blitz Arena, which is very exciting, and it's going to be basically a regular arena, except everybody needs to play this Nimzo Indian Fisher variation, which that wasn't where I wanted to link. We'll get it up on an analysis board. This position here, right? And all of our games are going to be from this position today. At least for this arena, and perhaps the next if it goes well. So yeah, this should be really exciting. White's main move here, and the one I'm going to be playing when I'm white, is knight to e2, and then black can do a couple of things, but bishop to a6 and knight to e4 are the most topical lines here. And then there's some sharp stuff that happens here. After this, knight f4, d5, takes, bishop takes f1, d takes e6 is a potential sacrifice, and the bishop retreats back to a6. This happens, and white gets to play a4. So e4, and this is just one of many sharp lines that are possible here. Also, after bishop a6, knight g3 is a common move, defends it like this, and black can actually play this h4 move. Something like bishop comes here, and the bishop drops back to d6, and now there are ideas about taking on here and clamping down on the e4 square. So overall, I think that it's just a really interesting, rich position, and I'm really looking forward to playing in it with you guys today. And it seems like we're pretty close to starting. We're pretty close to starting. Yep. We will be going in 10 seconds.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Who are we playing? We're playing against Leo Behrens. Alright, so they play bishop d3, which is the other main line. I'll go here and I hit this. And now I get to play my knight in here. We will trade these, and I drop this back here. And basically, white achieves a very big center here, but his pawns are a little misplaced. Here I'm going to play the break e5. Pressure the center. This move makes sense for my opponent. He's trying to open up our kingside over here. So what are we going to do about it? I think we're just going to castle into it for now, and we'll see how that line goes. He made this exchange. Yeah, I'm pretty okay with that, because now I think after bishop f6, everything is pretty solidified here. He goes bishop e3. We'll go queen e7. And it feels somewhat hard for my opponent to do anything but just keep this tension here. And eventually we're going to put some pressure on this pawn. King goes into the corner. We'll play rook e8. Rook e1. Okay, does bishop takes e4, sorry, does e takes d4 work? E takes d4, c takes d4, and I believe bishop takes e4 should be okay. We will go down this line. I believe this is just winning a pawn. Okay, and now he gets, oh, okay, interesting. So I was going to retreat, but he gets to take this. That might change what I do then. I will play in here. Maybe this was a bit too ambitious because he gets to get rid of his bad pawns. Alright, well now I think I am winning a pawn. I said that before. Looks good for me. Looks pretty good for me. A3. Queen A4. We just want to keep hitting the C pawn so that once his bishop inevitably retreats, we'll be able to snap this up. So how's everybody doing today? Thank you, Sahil Pusani 12 for the follow. Much appreciated. Whenever people follow, it helps me create more fun educational chess content, which is really the goal here. So every follow is much appreciated. Right, opponent is trying for some counterplay. I think that this is worth exchanging. And then we'll play our knight here. And it's really easily got the possibility to drop back to the e6 square. That comes in there. Okay. We will play b5 and b4. Anyone anticipate what's coming next? All right. So how's everybody in the chat doing? Anyone else playing in this arena? Any big Nimzo Indian fans here? You're playing in the arena? We'll come back here, force this to move. Knight d6 is not possible because I just take this. Oh, cool. How are your games going? Still in your first one like me? All right. This feels like a last ditch effort. So if I go queen c2, this should be fine. Ooh, time is low. I didn't realize I was getting so low. But this should be winning here, yeah, after this. And now my king is perfectly safe. We can push this pawn again. And this should be it. Alright, good game, Leo Baharens. Nicely done. Thank you so much, Apple, for the follow. Much appreciated. We're gonna berserk this one. Bishop d2. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do against that. That's a weird move. We'll just go here. And bishop d2 just feels like a needlessly passive move to me. Bishop d2, because he gets to play his knight here and defend this regardless. So it's just really unnecessary to include the move bishop d2 if you're gonna go knight e2 right after anyway. It's like this knight is already defended against the double pawns. these will get traded off, and now black's bishops are just looking a lot nicer than white's, in my opinion. We're bringing our knight in. Here we'll play a6. And b5. Drop this back. Alright, this lets me play knight c4. Alright, and we win a pawn here. Time is a little bit low, but I feel pretty good about converting this endgame. We will push this up. And I believe this is useful. Normally you don't want to trade pawns when you're trying to win an endgame, but here it just really activates my pieces. Here we have to take this. And yeah, this is now a second pawn and huge amounts of pressure. Knight g4 comes in. And everything is falling apart for white here. His pieces actually cover everything right now, but he is still down a bunch of material. Maybe I should have taken with the knight, I'm not sure. Makes sense. We'll get our rook out of its weird square. No reason to have our pieces pinned down. And we'll just play g6. Create Luft with tempo. This will drop back here. That's alright. Good night, Sahil. How are you doing? Sorry. Good night. Thanks for watching the stream. And we will go here. Let's be careful to make sure we don't flag. You too, Sahil. These are getting traded. This is pushing. Alright, good game, good game. We are in second place. We've won twice. Vijers has won once. Has won 3 times, one more time more than we have won. So we'll have to try to catch up to them. But we started out for 2 black wins, and this is our first game playing white. And we're going to play the knight e2 line. We're gonna ask this piece to move. It will play f3 so that there's no issues with this pawn while we're developing. This will go here. Opponent is trading. The more pawns that get exchanged, though, the bigger my bishop pair advantage is going to come. And now we have a hanging pawns position, which feels like it should be pretty good for white. Like, this feels like a useful tempo to me. I don't know, what's he playing? Queen b8? Alright, this, he's just giving me material. He's giving me a lot of material. Alright. Nice quick win is good. We didn't learn so much about the Nimzo Indian there, but we learned don't hang your pieces. And we are in first place now with 10 points and 2 Berserk wins. A lot of people have got 8 points, but looks like they have not berserked their games. So I'm the only one to do that. Now we're playing against Nikolai. I will berserk this again. Bishop d3. We will play this line. I really like taking advantage of this square. And this is going very similarly to our first round game. See if our opponent moves the knight back now. Okay, e5 is a super aggressive move. Because now I get to take this. If he takes back, knight takes. He's gonna try to play his bishop in here and make an uncomfortable pin. So that's a good idea for him. It's gonna be difficult to defend against everything. So we're still a pawn up, but our pawn structure got a little messed up here. I personally feel like black is fine here. Bishop will come here. F5, Queen E7. We will ask him to please move. He will move. Thank you for listening to my polite request. And stuff is getting traded, and now I think we're just a pawn. Oh, wow. Wow, okay, I just totally blundered. Now we're completely lost. Well, we'll see what we can do against Nikolai here, who seems hell-bent on doing a million things before he captures my queen. Disappointing blunder for sure. Felt like we were defending against that attack. Not sure why he's thinking now. Really? Okay, this, yeah. Good game, Nikolai. We lose because of that blunder. That was a big mistake on my behalf, but we'll see if we can get back into the win column this next game. And we're playing against Mudo. We'll play our classic knight e2 line. He's just castling, so we will force him back, and we will establish a nice big center here. And we're going to play in a super sharp way, just going for the play on the king side. I don't see where his knight goes here. I don't see where his knight goes. I think his queen move cut his knight off from any retreat squares. So it looks like we're just winning a piece here. And we did. We'll go this way. It's the only way really we have left to castle. And he's rightfully trying to blow things up given that he's down material. Like, yeah, he gets this, but I get another exchange. Or I guess my first exchange, but more material. And now, as long as we don't blunder like we did so badly last game, we should be taking this one home. Asking him to politely move. I'll just take it next move. Like, what's he gonna do? Retreat? Yeah. This is game over. Alright, nice, we get the win. We get the win. We've been berserky lot. Doesn't seem like anyone else is berserking much here. Oh, Abo Fatsi did. Abedi. So we're in decent shape. Second place. We'll see if we can start a streak up. One more win will do it. We're playing against Finkelfraud. I will berserk against Mr. Finkelfraud and play 92. Knight f4 looks nice and useful. Alright, makes sense. He's trying to play to challenge my center. And I'm going to play to break it open. I feel like when this gets broken open, I get to bring my bishop back here. And this should be some kind of positional advantage for me. Maybe it's pretty slight, but it should be something. Yeah, so now I take this, and I take this. And his pawns are a little suspect here. Like, they're not chronically weak, but they'd rather be on squares where they can defend one another. And we will try to exploit that any way we can. Opponent is just trying to trade the rooks off, it looks like. I expect rook d8. Unless they're worried about trades and knight c6. Doesn't seem like they are. I wouldn't really be. Alright, he takes back with the bishop. Now we'll just play h3. I don't feel like I'm in any particular rush here. So it's good to play a useful move like that. Now we'll target coming in here. Queen drops back, sure. Knight c6. Where are you going? Are you going to f8? Funny thing is, after bishop f8, I'm not sure if I want to take this because it makes my knight look pretty bad. Probably I do. Yeah, here I just have to take this and check. And pick this up. Now we have a passed a pawn, which is going to be hopefully our golden ticket here. We're starting to pull near on time. I'm worried about some of his attacking possibilities though. Maybe that wasn't best. Very sharp, very sharp. Fun position, that's for sure. I feel very close to consolidating, but we'll go back here so there's no checks. And like, yeah, he gets to pick up the E-pawn if he wants, but I don't care much about the E-pawn. I care a lot about the A-pawn. The E-pawn, of course, is going to be created after I take this, and this gets taken here. So I guess the F-pawn now. And we'll go here. We just want to bring our queen back into the defense of our position. Notice queen d1 is a useful kind of multi-purpose move. Defending a lot of stuff. Alright, and we ended mate. I thought that was a pretty good game. We played against a strong opponent. We got a slight positional advantage, and we didn't let it go. Alright, he's playing this bishop d2 as well. This guy is pretty strong. He probably knows what he's doing, so maybe it's more legitimate than I first gave it credit for. No, I felt like this would just be very pleasant for black. Not when I play a move like that, though. Of course, the issue I was encountering was queen c2 there. What? Alright, I'm not sure what that sacrifice was about. Like, as soon I just go here, and now, like, this bishop is biting on granite. Man, that was a bad... Tactics need to be sharper today. We're still probably winning here. We're up a pawn instead of up an exchange, but that was not the best way to convert by any means. Now this move covers this square, so I don't see what he's going to try to do here. Alright, this is game over. Alright, a nice win, nice win. We're tied with Vajers, who's more consistent than us, but they haven't berserked any games. They've won every game. No berserks, they're streaking. We, on the other hand, we've played more games, we've won quicker, we've won faster. But we also blundered and lost one game. We berserk this one as well. I quite like establishing this pawn structure here. Like, if I could be super aggressive and try to castle queenside here. And I think it's what we're going to do. And like, I don't care about whatever he's doing there. Really, he's blocking that down. Now I love this. Now I love this for me. I go ahead, play b5. Go ahead and play b5. Rook e7 clearly says I want to take back. That's not what I thought. Thought he was going to take back with his queen. We'll take this. What is a breakthrough? We're not mating now, so we need to come up with a plan B. Alright, this... I don't feel like his position was ready for that. Maybe I'm wrong. Alright, here I get this. Retreat. And I'll keep retreating. I'll go here. Go here. Now he's clearly just trying to flag me. Which makes sense when you can't play good moves. Flag the person. He definitely moved quickly. So he had that going for him. What have I learned about the Nimzo so far? I think that we played a bunch of interesting games and we learned some ideas. I've been the only one who's been playing castling queenside there, so I'm curious about that. I'll have to look into this bishop d2 move as well, because that's starting to look more serious. And the line that I had looked at and prepared with knight e2 at the start seems like it was not so popular here. So we're gonna play our knight in here. And play f5. Now it looks pretty solid. Knight d2, okay. We'll take this. Go here. I don't know why he took back with the pawn. People always take back with the pawn in these lines, and I feel like it just messes with your pawn structure. And I'm not ever sure what the actual benefit of it is. We're okay with giving this up. And he's okay with not taking it, so I'm glad we're in agreement that it's not important. Here we're just a pawn up. We have a few issues to solve, namely this rook down here, but it seems like we just solved them, so that's at least advantageous for us. I'm curious if it's just a small sample size, but it seems like there's been a lot of queen and rook endgames, which sort of makes sense. It's a position where the minor pieces are in a position where they can get traded quite quickly. So a lot of what we've been getting is these major piece endgames, as this has got to be winning, right? Like I can, okay, good move, but But like I can create a pass pawn here. G3, A5. Yeah, and here I could play H4. And now this should be it. Interesting endgame. I'll have to look. Like I'm sure it's got to be winning, but it's a little tricky. It's a little tricky to get these pawns mobilized. A good game. We're back up to 25-30. I feel like we've lost points today. We had the one loss and then a bunch of wins, but one loss is all it takes to lose a bunch of points here. That's why I'm hesitant about berserking. In blitz against decent players. Because when I play against people who are let's say below 2000, it's pretty likely that regardless of whether or not I berserk, I should be able to win if I don't make any big blunders. But like guys like this, Viatal, he's like clearly a good player. He's nearly 2200. I'm sure he's been at 2200 sometime. And it's pretty tough to beat good players when you've got a time disadvantage. So that's why berserking's always scary, because if I play against these guys and I lose a trillion points. And we're just going to try to exchange towards a position with where our bishop pair really shines through. And I feel like we're getting pretty close to that right now. I don't even know if I want to take this, it's funnily enough. Like, it looked like you want to take it and mess his pawn structure up, but I could also just hold on to the bishop pair. What's good is I'm not forced to make a decision. Like, if he plays h6, then I'll take it. His knight drops back to e8. Alright, we'll take this file. And this is quite nice positional... Quite nice a positional roll here. Yeah, he needs to play a move like g5 to break this pin. You can't even move your knight now because of your weaknesses. Hey, how's it going? Okay. Rook b7. We will make space for king to exit. This will drop back here. And like, if he could get a knight to f4, that would be annoying. I just don't see that happening anytime soon. That's a really aggressive move. That is a very aggressive move. Might be good. Alright, we went on time. I feel like we botched that a little bit. Nothing too bad, but I do feel like we botched that a little bit. So does anyone have any questions about the Nimzo Indian? Excuse me. Anyone have any questions about the Nimzo Indian? Do you think it's a good opening? Is it something that you guys play? I'm curious because I'm playing in this tournament because a bunch of people were mentioning opening fairy, and they were curious how I played openings and what I felt about them and all different kinds of stuff. And the Nimzo Indian is obviously one of the most popular black openings when it comes to addressing D4, as well as something that I know a decent amount about myself. So I thought this would be a good opportunity for us to go over that. So yeah, if anyone has any Nimzo Indian related questions, please let me know. And this is gonna be up on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment and I'll definitely get around to replying to that. All right, so here, all of the minor pieces are traded again. I do think that's something in the position that leads to minor pieces being traded. So if you hate knights, this might be the variation for you. Gotta keep our king safe. That was like a needlessly passive move, though. That was a pretty bad move. Alright, we're a pawn up. But we're facing down some positional pressure here. In addition to pressure from the clock. We'll just take back with a pawn, actually. Like, yeah, you get a passed pawn, but I'll stick my queen here. Bishop takes d6. Oh geez, like in the middle of the blitz out? Doesn't surprise me. I don't think I played bishop takes d6 earlier in the game, so yeah. Here I'm in another blitz out. One where we're up a million pawns in the endgame. And we get the victory over Sandesh's chest. That's like what we want to see here. As we play against non-Queen, non-Adesso. They're berserking against me too. This should be good. Double berserk. Instead, F takes E4. I don't remember the position well enough to comment on that. But yeah, it sounds at least somewhat plausible. That might be a bad move. Yeah, this was... Alright, well, if he does it here, I don't care. I cared about it when it was hitting my queen. Now I'll defend this, and now he just has some weak pawns. I think that I could snap up B7 here, maybe? Looks like it. These are getting traded. Retreat, you. Now we have a clear advantage with our extra material, and we'll work to convert it. Alright, we get the win. 10 minutes left. We're feeling pretty good. We're clearly Nimzo Indian experts on this channel, which is a good place to be. Nimzo Indian's a great opening. Playing against Cappy. Alright, we'll give it a berserk. Trade? No trade, he says. Instead, he wants me to win a pawn. I guess he gets counterplay here. That's fair enough. That is fair enough. We're gonna go Queen G4 probably soon. I'm actually totally fine if he takes this. Yeah, he doesn't. he took it, we were going to switch gears, castle queenside, and play over there. As it is, we're going to have a pretty typical setup here, but we're just a clear pawn up, it looks like. Trying to make waves on... Oh, that's an annoying move. Knight g7. He doesn't see it. Alright. This is sharp. This is very sharp. There are even queen sacrifices here. Ooh, that's really bad. I can't do that. Okay. Now our time is low, so we better mate him, otherwise we're gonna flag. Another issue with berserking. If you get into a tough position, then that's game over. Ah, yeah. Opponent found a good move. Bishop e6. All right, some opportunities for improvement in that one for sure. Bauman, we will berserk. Good luck, Bauman. And this is just gonna end up winning a piece. We'll drop this guy back here. Offer a trade of queens. Knight drops back and hits the bishop. Yeah, with our extra piece we should be in good shape here. These tactics, like the ones I had where you break e5, are always stuff that you need to watch out for in these positions. Always stuff you need to watch out for. Whenever you've got specifically bishop on d3 and knight on f3, because then yeah, the bishop covers one square, covers e4 one time, but that's all you've got, and black can have a knight on f6, and then they break e5, and then they've got e4 ideas of forking more material. We will see what he does here. We will go here, hit this. Very tricky. Alright, letting me in can't be good for him. He'll play queen g4, I'll play rook takes f4, game over, right? Is that what's gonna happen? That's what's gonna happen. Queen g4, rook takes f4, resigns. Fine, you can lose this way instead. Alright, good game, Benjamin. Tournament pairings are closed. Wow, it ended up being a lot closer than I thought, thanks to a late surge by Vajers here, who finishes with a better win rate than us. A better win rate. They only lost one game, we lost two. In our defense, we did berserk a lot, and we did not get to play against them. I would have been really fun if we got to play a game with them, but alas, we didn't. So overall, I thought that this was a really good arena when it came to learning about the Nimzo Indian. We'll pull a few games up here. First thing with this one, so I trade, and then yeah, computer says that he can play this. And it makes sense that the computer says that. I was willing to sacrifice this pawn. And I was willing to sacrifice this pawn because I really don't think that it's that big of an issue here. The one thing that it stops is it stops the white king, stops the black king from castling anytime soon, which is something that's pretty important in a lot of lines. But here, like black, there are a few options, right? I could just do this and give him these doubled pawns and try to play this way. I don't like that as much. I like just playing c5. And then when he goes bishop e4, we say no trade for you. Castles, queen c7, and there's no way he's going to be able to hold on to this. Like, black's just going rook here, knight here, taking this. So it felt like at the time that I would have really good compensation here. And indeed, like the more the computer thinks about it, the more it likes it for black. And then later on, we go down this line, I play a5, and here he lets me take this pawn. So this is actually all good for me. So I'm playing perfect moves for now. Queen d5, ooh, that was a nice idea. I missed this idea. Just consolidating. Oh, and this would have been tough to deal with? Probably, that's pretty fair. And I think beyond this point, it's clear that black is the one in the driver's seat. And here white resigned. Or white played a few more moves before resigning. So that was a good instructive game. Yeah, and we officially finish in first place here. With a 24-19 performance rate, 86% berserk rate, 86% win rate. Not bad. Second time in a row that I finished with the same berserk rate as win rate. And there was one other game that I wanted to call up. Maybe just we can look at the ideas involved with castling queenside. So I'll pull this up. This was against a strong player. And here, I play f3. And perhaps d5 is the best line. Basically, with this, white is saying, I want to make a super big center, and you're going to have a hard time developing this knight to anywhere good because of how much space this pawn mass takes up. I wanted to go a little more aggressive, and I wanted to play for the kingside attack. So that's what we end up doing. And here you see very typical attacking lines. This I think is pointing out a pretty big mistake that I made here. And a pretty big mistake my opponent made too. White should play d5 here. The majority of the time, you want to hold on to the tension, and that's advantageous of you to wait before pushing or exchanging. And I was playing largely on reflex, so I didn't do it. But here the position is different, and the reason the position is different is because the kings are on opposite sides of the board. So basically, we're talking about the chess principle, which states that when your opponent attacks you on the wing, you should respond in the center, right? And obviously, based on what white is doing, white is playing g4, white is going to play knight g3 to f5, and push all of these pieces down towards black's kingside. White is trying to attack on the wing. So that's why black should take this opportunity after this to play this capture, and now the center is open. The knight c6 comes in, and basically black is using the center as a way of undermining white's attack. And that can come in a lot of forms. It can come in playing knight takes d4, queen takes d4, bishop f6, and establishing the bishop on this long diagonal. It can come from playing knight e5 and hitting this pawn and hitting this pawn and being able to play bishop a6 and put even more pressure here. It can even, at some point, maybe with this gone, come from playing d5, exploiting the queen on the same line as this, and trying to rip open white's center that way. So basically the principle here with the opposite side castling, you want to open up the center if you're black because you're behind in the race. White wants to keep it closed down. And the way the game went, white just got a really overwhelming attack. And here it should be good for me. But I went a little astray here. So I trade these pieces, and Engine points out this idea, queen h6. At first I thought after queen h6, g takes h5, it's not so clear how I'm going to win, right? If I take this way, maybe his king can start to run, or even simpler, rook e7, rook here, king here. Well, here I have queen f6, so not rook e7, but probably queen e7, rook g1, king here, f6, queen f7. Yeah, so these tactics are working, but I wasn't seeing all of them during the game, and it's a little tricky. Perhaps it's a sacrifice you can play based on intuition, but I thought that this would be simple enough. Endgame is still definitely winning here. We get knight c7, and he just gave us this stuff. And after that, it ends up being a winning position for white, and we converted there. So we can look at our losses now. This loss to Nikolay. I played very poorly here. I made a big blunder, and that's what cost us. Again, this is a really similar idea to last time. In fact, it's basically the same position here. With black playing c5 and knight c6 if he takes it. And my opponents, like me, evaluated that as not something that they want to do. Alright, so taking this is good. This is what I figured. Rook c8, d5. Wow. Computer puts out this move, which is not something I feel like many people would play in a blitz game, allowing this to happen. But I guess the point is here, white does get a pawn back, but they're left with all of these double pawns, and black gets the castle. This is a fair line. This is a fair line. If I was playing a tournament game, I probably would have uncorked something like this. Instead here, I'm a little bit more exposed, and I need to castle by hand. But yeah, as expected, black is pretty much in the driver's seat until I make this terrible blunder here. If I play g6, bishop d5, king g7, queen retreats g5, bishop g3, e4, black is well on his way to winning this game. So this one clearly illustrates one key move can cause all of the difference here. And we'll look at our... This one was time, was mostly the issue. We'll go here and we'll see if we can learn from what Erg was pointing out. We go down this line. White's clearly better. So up until this point, I think I'm playing a pretty nice positional game. A takes b4 is definitely a better move. I had a bit of a brain fart here, and I thought that queen takes b4 was forced. And now, with the queens being off, it's really simple to win this a-pawn soon. But of course, after queen takes b4, black's not obliged to allow this exchange. And something like knight c5 is probably the best way to go. I'm still definitely much better, but it's a position. Queen b8, rook c1, knight d6, rook c6, knight f6, bishop g5. For now, it's good. We're pushing this pawn up. I feel like maybe white should be playing this a little bit slower. And a move like bishop g3 seems to make a lot more sense to me than what I did. Whenever you're playing speed chess, you feel like a bit of an urgency to do something. You're not tremendously patient. You're worried about the clock. You want to create chances, especially I berserked here, before you get really low on time. Which is why I was pushing this pawn down. But basically, if you look at this position here for black, black isn't really able to do anything here. Like, this can't move. This has got to stay defending this. This has got to stay defending this. These are terrible. If you do something to maneuver these knights to save squares, now h6 is hanging. Like, it's just a terrible, atrocious position for black. But as soon as I play a5, and yeah, it's still great for me. The rook swings to b7, comes into b2. The queen gets into the game. Basically, exactly what we saw in the game happens. And black is able to create counterplay. So this, I feel, was a big misstep for me and was a little bit impatient. Computer says it doesn't matter. Computer says it's still +4. And that's great when the engines are playing chess, but we're humans and we're going to make mistakes later on. And a5 was, from a practical standpoint, not the way that white wants to play this. Opponent starts fighting back. I play this. This is all good. I see. This is a very smart idea. This is no good. Here, it's completely unclear. Whereas, if I keep my bishops and play this, now, e5 is going to be pretty devastating. So I should have played to unite these pawns here. That would have been a much better way to go. I was sort of playing instinctively there, and bishop takes d6 looks attractive because it lets me take this pawn with check, which is also pretty good if you're in a blitz-out time scramble like we were. However, obviously, f takes e4, much better move. Thanks Erg for pointing that earlier. Rook takes, and yeah, here it doesn't really matter. I recovered my winning position and lost it, but we managed to win on time. Alright, so that's going to draw this analysis session to a close for now. Takeaways from this tournament. We finished in first place. That's great. I thought we had a bunch of really interesting Nimzo Indian games. And we learned not only about the opening, all of these ideas with knight e4, these ideas where you sack the pawn on h7, these ideas where you castle queenside, and sometimes where you castle kingside, the ideas with the closed center where you push d5, and then attack on the wings, the ideas where you keep the center open and you play to have active bishops as white. Really, we learned a lot of different Nimzo Indian setups, and I think that's what makes it such a cool opening, is that you can play it so many different ways, and you're not really stuck going for one strategy, which is a knock on something I play myself, which is the Collie, right? And the Collie, I think, is a great opening. But the downside is every single game you're going e3, bishop d3, b3, bishop b2, knight d2, trying to put a knight on the e5 square. There's not a tremendous amount of nuance or flexibility when you play an opening like that. You sort of say, this is what I want to do. You figure out the best way to meet it. And on the one hand, that's easy. And it's attractive that way, like you know that what you're doing is going to make strategic sense. But something like the Nimzo Indian is just a position that offers you the opportunity to really outplay your opponent a lot more. And that's something that's pretty valuable. Besides that, I think that's going to be it for this Nimzo Indian arena. There's another 5-hour arena, but we decided to do a little bit of analysis for it instead. And I'm going to be back at 4 o'clock, giving a simultaneous exhibition here in Lichess. So I hope to see you guys all back. And thanks for watching. I hope you all learned something about the Nimzo.